She doesn't even go here.
I'm bi, actually.
Excuse me. Could the ugly, untalented gays please report to the principal's office?
Hi, I'm Kurt Hummel, and I'll be auditioning for the role of Kicker.
Hello! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Not So Straight Nerds. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And today, we are talking about Paradise Season 2.
Yay, finally.
Yes. I will say, off the bat, I love the show.
Absolutely, me too.
I think it is... I think it was a moment last year, and I fear it is not nearly the same type of moment this year. And I think that that's really bizarre to me.
I think so too. It's frustrating. I feel like it got looped into almost like the pit, and like it was a little bit overshadowed because the pit was the moment. So this was just simply a moment. And then this year, I don't know. I didn't hear anyone talking about it, which is really sad because, well, that's not true. I heard maybe a couple people talking about it and talking about how like season 2 might even be better than season 1. Like, they didn't even know why it was getting a season 2, but now like they just want more. So I did see a couple people, but yeah, certainly not at the level season 1, and season 1 didn't even do anything at the Emmys really. So I'm kind of scared because I would love for them to do something at the Emmys this year, but we'll see. Either way, it's a very underrated show, and y'all should go watch it.
Absolutely.
It's really good.
Before we start talking details on this show, vibe check. Tell me, how are your vibes today?
I'm doing great. I actually got enough sleep. I don't know. I went to bed. I read for like an hour before I tried to fall asleep, and I feel like that always helps, and I need to do that more often. Because then I feel like I get more quality sleep. Because yesterday I woke up with a migraine. I felt so exhausted. This morning I woke up like 10 minutes before my alarm, and I'm like, I feel so well rested, and this is great. Anyways, so the vibes are good here. Yeah, what about you?
I am big chillin'.
Chillin'.
I feel, I don't know. I haven't taken anything, but it feels like I'm like still asleep, or like I have some kind of like high
you took NyQuil or something.
Something like that. I don't know. Life's a haze right now. But you know what? We vibing.
You know how everyone always talks about when you take NyQuil, you have like crazy dreams, but you haven't heard that before?
I mean, probably, but as someone who takes NyQuil a decent bit, I don't think I've noticed that.
Well, I think it's funny because I feel like I've seen it a lot on social media and like Gen Z, and I work with someone who's a little bit older. I think she's probably a millennial, and she just randomly out of the blue the other day said she took NyQuil, and she had crazy dreams, and I'm like, I think that's kind of funny that I feel like that's probably why that rumor started, is because I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like things are so Gen Z, but then I hear someone else say it, and I'm like, no, this is like universal experience. Apparently, this is pretty cool. Anyways, also random thought. My mind's all over the place this morning. This is not a pink drink, guys. I don't like Starbucks for many reasons, but if nothing else, their drinks suck to me. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I got this. It's a reusable cup, like years ago. I think for my high school graduation, my mom got it for me, like a set. And I'm practicing making my own drinks, so to save money, which I think I said a couple episodes ago. But anyways, and in case anyone's like, you bought Starbucks. No, I didn't. I promise. I don't want to.
She would
Gross.
never.
Plus, that's kind of the whole point, is I'm trying to save money. But
Starbucks
more so,
is not the place you go to save money.
but more so, because I don't like Starbucks, so I wouldn't even think about that. More so from like Seven Brew or Dutch Bros or, those places. So,
yeah.
Anyways, and it's really good. I just did watermelon syrup and a Red Bull and a splash of half and half, and it's really good.
Per?
And it kind of matches my shirt. Barbie.
Per? Well,
Anyways.
Moving forward, we are going to go ahead and stick up. Spoiler warning, we are going to be talking spoilers on Season 1 and Season 2 of Paradise.
There are big ones.
Yes, both
So.
of these seasons are currently streaming on Hulu or the Disney Plus bundle if you have that. It is such a fun show. I highly recommend it from us at Not So Straight Nerds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that being said, going into first Season 1.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with going into the show because, oh my gosh, that damn trailer for Season 1 was everywhere. Which is really sad compared to Season 2.
Yeah.
But I remember there was, like, and I did not jump into it at all immediately. I got into it maybe a month or two after it had all wrapped. I'd never had the twist spoiled for me. But I remember after the trailer is like, okay, well, whatever the secret is, better be pretty big.
Yeah.
So seeing them drop the bombshell at the end of episode 1, I was immediately hooked.
Yeah. I will say I had a little bit of a different experience. I'll be totally honest about it. It took me a minute to get it. Again, I brought up Sandman the other day for something. I'm bringing it up again. Similar to my experience to Sandman, I started this show and, well, we're in spoiler territory.
Yes.
They kill off James Marsden. And I'm like, no, because I love him. I'm so excited for him to be in the show. And I thought that meant he wasn't going to be in the show at all anymore. So I thought, it's just like, he was teased so people would watch, and then, then he wasn't even going to be in it. So I was mad. I was like, I don't really want to watch this show. So I didn't for a while. I think I watched maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I stopped for a while. And then you had watched all of it and loved it and said, like, keep going. It gets really good. Which, of course, you were hooked right away, but I knew we were going to, need to know about it for the Emmys. So I eventually rewatched it, and I'm so glad I did because he is in the show more.
A
Just
lot,
through
even.
Flashbacks, yeah. But yes, quite a lot. And then Sterling K. Brown is also very fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I underestimated that. But because I feel like he's one of those actors that's in a lot of projects and elevates it and does really well, but for some reason he's still not, like, highlighted, I guess. So I feel like it's easy for people to underestimate him. So I'm so glad I gave this show a second chance because I ended up loving it, and then I loved season 2. So, yeah.
No, for sure.
Anyways.
Oh my gosh. Focusing.
You were an OG.
Yes, I was. I was here for, well, maybe not exactly the beginning, but like a little bit after the beginning.
Yeah.
Gosh, it was just so fun. I really love the aesthetic of, like, this town that's, like, not what it seems. It reminds me a lot of kind of the aesthetic of Once Upon a Time, like, in the town in Maine.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm a real sucker for the trope of, like, it looks like a normal, straightforward thing, but then if you look
It's definitely
closer,
not.
there's something really weird going on.
Yeah.
I am a sucker for that trope. Eat it up. The cast, I think, is really strong. And, Your Honor, we have mystery. And I am once again a sucker for a mystery. In a lot of
Yeah.
ways, this show is, like, very
that's
catered
perfect
towards
for
a
you.
lot of my thing.
Yeah.
My, like, likes.
Interest, yeah.
So, so great. And what I also really love, like, I want to say the plot, but, like, the pacing of the show. Like, I feel like every episode, they end on really good twists. Or, like, exciting things that are gonna, like, be huge for, like, the next episode.
Ooh, another reason to compare it to The Pit, because Pit season 1, I would say more so than season 2. One of our really only complaints for the first season was sometimes how they ended their episodes. So that's an interesting comparison that we were probably watching them around the same time, and that's one good comparison. Is Paradise? I agree, definitely had better endings. So.
No, absolutely. The way the mysteries unfolded, they accidentally uncover another conspiracy when trying to solve the murder of the president. But it all still feels super, like, interesting and intentional. Oh, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So just kind of going through some more best parts. Obviously, Sterling K. Brown, I think, is an amazing lead. I feel like I've had to have appreciated him before. Whenever he was nominated for American Fiction, I remember really liking his performance.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, we got to get this guy some awards, gang.
Yeah.
He's kind of too good at this point.
Well, wasn't it you that compared him to Jeffrey Wright as well?
Yeah, also from American Fiction.
Yes.
I think they both really elevate the projects that they're in, even if they're not always recognized for doing so.
I agree. I think he's like genuinely one of the best parts of Catching Fire. That's like, which, I mean, Catching Fire is like a perfect movie to me. So like everyone does a good job, but like he really, I feel like when you see him in a project and you see him like going back to his older projects where he's not a lead, you're like, he does great in that role though. And then reading Sunrise on the Reaping, like they're gonna do a lot of fun stuff with that. So yeah,
No, absolutely.
Not Jeffrey Wright's not coming back.
Yeah,
but his character. So yeah. Anyways.
No, for sure. And then James Marsden, I think, also gives one of my favorite performances from him.
Yeah.
Like that episode of The Day That the World Floods is maybe one of my favorite episodes of television from last year. Because he just leads with so much heart, but he still like takes so much of the blame. Gosh, I love that episode and I love his performance. I know whenever we were talking about award stuff last year for shows, he was probably my shoo-in for who I wanted to win for supporting actor across the board. I think he was just so great, man.
Yeah.
Miss you, Cal. I also really liked across the board. I liked the entire cast. What's her name? Julianne Nicholson also got nominated for Sinatra. I will say I know I liked her more than you did.
Yes.
I will say,
but I mean, her performance was good. Yeah, I mean, that's never in question for me. It's just more so like I can see that the show knows we're supposed to dislike her, but I also think they want us to also partially like her, and that's the part I'm missing. I just dislike her, so it's a little bit annoying. But season 2 is different, so we'll get there.
No, absolutely. I feel like a lot of changes for her in season 2. But I will say, even though I like her performance here a lot, I still found myself being surprised that she was in the running, I think, across the board for, like, award season.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That didn't pop out to me as, like, a obvious thing that would happen.
I don't think so
Happy
either.
for her,
yeah.
Absolutely, because I do think she does great work in the role.
Yeah. Because I also think the therapist, I don't know her name.
Yep, that was Dr. Gabriella Tabari.
Yes. I think she does a great job as well, so it can be hard when they're not super highlighted, but they're both doing a great job. Like, it can seem surprising when only one is really getting recognized for that. So, I can see that.
Absolutely. I think the kid actors do a great job, or the younger actors.
Yeah.
The other agents, I think, are mysterious in their own right. Rest in peace, Billy. But him, I thought, was a really interesting character with the idea of he's a character that, like, gained so much from the end of the world. And so he would be someone who would be helping to maintain that order. I thought that was a really interesting twist for him.
Yeah.
And then frickin', what the heck is her name? Is it Alice? No. What's the agent that?
No, that killed
Jane.
him? Yeah. Oh, she's creepy.
She's very creepy.
Yeah.
In season 1, it feels a bit jarring. Even though this show is a 10 out of 10 for me. If I was going to nitpick anything, maybe a little bit of her character would be a part of that. I think season 2 expands on her in really cool ways. But like what she does in the season is a gag.
Yeah. I would still say that the beginning for me is still a little bit slow, even though I did get through it, and I agree it gets better. And then Sinatra was not my favorite, so I probably gave it, just from thinking about it like that, a 7 or 8 out of 10, like solid. And but I'm also thinking of how I thought about season 2, so I don't want it to be that high. I guess spoiler, I liked season 2 better, but we'll get to there. Yeah. I'm guessing. I'm sure I ranked it at some point, and I just forgot when I rated it.
And then lastly, I want to say I love the aesthetic of the town. I think it is. I love the way she describes it as like Middletown America anywhere or something like that. And it really is that.
I agree.
And then
season 2, they say they have like 3 Arby's. Isn't that right? And I'm
they
like,
have 2. Dude.
why?
I was like, dude, the world
Arby's?
ended, and of all of the brands that you thought needed to be preserved for the continuation of humanity, you chose to save not 1 but 2 Arby's locations. You're crazy.
Oh my gosh.
I think of the doctor's job, and it's like, we just got to remind people that there are worse options for food. It's important to to give them the restaurant that they're never going to want to eat at, but they're just going to conveniently have to eat at sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Registered Arby's hater. I'm so sorry.
No, me too.
Yeah, any other standouts for season 1? I mean, we covered a lot of it.
Yeah. Plus, I want most of the focus to be on season 2,
Sure.
so I feel like we covered a good amount of season 1.
I will say, at the end of season 1, I was very, very curious what on earth season 2 looks like.
Yeah.
Because the greatest through line of season 1 is the mystery of who murdered the president.
Yeah.
So without some kind of mystery element, we did an episode, or at least a half episode on season 1. And I remember us like spitballing back and forth, what on earth would season 2 look like? But a lot of it continged, in our opinion, on finding a new mystery to be unraveling.
Yeah.
And then also I remember being a little like, so I thought the world flooded. What on earth does the world look like now?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to explore, and I think kind of maybe a little more difficult to sell than anything they tried in season 1. So I remember being a little like,
We'll
okay.
see.
And I will say my fears were maybe a little bit backed by the massive decrease in advertising for season 2. Whereas when season 1 dropped, I couldn't go a day without seeing that trailer. And then I think I'd seen the trailer for season 2 one time before watching it.
Yeah.
So
Very different.
it's a very interesting
I don't know if our algorithms just failed us or what.
I'd be very curious if
'Cause, I
someone had a
mean-
different.
Yeah, because I still remember how I didn't even know Daredevil Born Again season 2 was coming out because I had seen nothing, and you were like, I've seen it everywhere. So maybe it was just that scenario, and we just weren't a part of the group for some reason. Why? Why does my feed not know I would like Daredevil?
I don't know.
Anyways.
And then real quickly on award season, it had a decent amount of nominations, kind of across the board, but no wins.
Yeah.
In Your Honor,
That's so sad. It's like, I get it. The Pit was good. Severance was good. They both got a lot, when the other didn't. White Lotus, I think, even got some, maybe. I don't remember.
I also don't remember, but brutal.
Paradise. Come on. I mean, our hot takes is probably that Paradise season 1 was better than Severance season 2. Certainly more consistent,
I would.
if nothing else.
That is our hot take.
I mean, Severance 2 had some good highs, but they had some low lows. So, Anyways, we did a whole episode on that.
Absolutely, and I don't want to repeat any
No.
of that. But anyways, so switching gears to season 2, I think we kind of talked about it, but at least my expectations were definitely a little. I was excited because I really liked the direction of season 1, but I was very interested to see how it changes.
Yeah.
Going into season 2, you're in the same boat.
Yeah, for sure. I just didn't know what it was gonna look like, so I don't know.
And then I will say, and then we get episode 1, and it's about a completely different person. I think that was a very bold swing, but my God, if I did not really enjoy that first episode.
It was, that was a really good. Honestly, I probably, from what I can remember, was not excited to watch it. I was just like, I don't know, I guess we're just gonna see how it goes. And then first episode, I'm like, that was really good. I'm so excited to see more. So yeah, I mean, it worked for me. It was a bold choice, but it worked out.
Yeah, and it ends up being really like integral to the further story of this season.
Yeah.
But I don't know, my immediate buy-in, it's this with how much hesitation I had about the season starting out. It's impressive they got me on board so quickly again.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, so overall, best parts. Go.
I mean, I would say that storyline, I think I was probably pretty disappointed, like more so than you're obviously supposed to be as an audience member when she didn't go with Link. I was like, I honestly didn't like that choice at the time, but then now that I have the full context, I do. Because she didn't go with him because she was pregnant, and then she gave birth but then died. So first of all, that was very tragic. But it ended up now I'm kind of seeing where they're going with this, why she didn't go with him. And then I loved her interactions with Sterling K. Brown's character. Them two together, they were really good.
Absolutely.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember where it progresses. And then it flashes to Terry, where she was with everything. I'll admit that group was kind of boring to me. I mean, I liked seeing her.
I want to say Terry was an amazing character. Let me
agree.
Let me get an actress name.
Yeah. So it's not like I was disappointed when it was showing that storyline, because at least I could see Terry, if nothing
Anuka
else.
Akuma.
Ooh.
Anuka Akuma.
Her. And then who was Gary? Gary. Because I remember in that episode, I was like, Gary! So sorry, that was probably really loud for y'all. But yeah, that was Gary, you motherfucker. I hate a betrayal. Gosh, I don't know. And then I'm trying to remember what happened next.
I'm gonna say I also loved the episode of showing how Xavier and Terry met.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
and I think that adds
gosh.
so much more weight to season 1.
Yeah.
Dude. What
Oh
so
my
freaking
God.
sweet.
Yeah. Oh, they're so sweet. And then what else happens after that? I'm trying to figure out kind of when we link back to the bunker.
It links back. It kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah.
So, episode 3 was when we officially go back to the bunker. The vice president's now the president, and he's going crazy. Sinatra has woken up. Dr. What's her last name? Dr. Tarabi doesn't trust her. Rightfully so, she killed people. But her coming back in, dude, Sinatra so levels up this season.
Absolutely. I loved her storylines. I was interested in, what was it, Alex? Project Alex? What was it called?
Yes.
Yeah?
Alex. It was never called Project Alex, but they were always referred to it as Alex.
Oh, okay. I was very interested to finally find out what the heck that was. It took a while, but we got there.
Great mystery.
Yeah. And then to find out that her son is somehow Link, in a way.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. When were you born? And I'm like, I mean, a lot of people. But anyways, it's fine.
I do think that there's a lot of explaining to be done in season 3.
Yeah.
But its introduction in season 2 is very fascinating. It also explores themes that I think are very popular right now of fascism, and kind of the taking over of people's
I mean,
freedom.
art reflects the reality of our circumstances. so-
Absolutely.
yeah.
It feels interesting that it feels very Daredevil, Born Again, and The Boys right now.
But it's still so like all 3 of those are very unique in their own right.
Absolutely.
Not all of them are successful in what they're doing, but 2 of them are. So
Mhm.
I would say, anyways. But yeah, so it's refreshing to see how much art is discussing this. Like, I even think of the Devil Wears Prada 2. I won't say too much on that because we do have a spoiler video on that if you want to hear more details. But I was relieved and surprised by how much they were talking about, the death of art basically, and uniqueness and human creation. Because that's also a huge topic right now. And I loved Anne Hathaway's like delivery of when she's just like, this can't be
Exasperated by it.
This can't be the reality. I loved that line delivery. So I love how much of art right now is reflecting these conversations in different ways, in different conversations, and even within the same conversation in unique ways. Like, props to them. It doesn't feel repetitive. It doesn't feel like, oh my god, we get it. Like, life sucks right now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So they're all bringing something to the table.
Yeah, well said. What else? Gary's scary.
Gary's scary. No, because I was so excited that his name is Gary because we just got Zootopia 2 not too long ago. So I was like, Gary! Gary the Snake. I'm like, we love Gary the Snake. Gary! It's a different... No. This is not Gary the Snake. No. But he was scary. It's interesting because I feel like he represents a type of man that is almost scarier than like outwardly aggressive men, because he seems so kind and like soft and polite, and even when we know for sure that he's being very calculated and like evil, it's still coming off as just such a calm demeanor. It's terrifying. It's almost like he has this obsession with Terry, and that's more terrifying than like a more aggressive manner. Oh my gosh, I was so scared for her. I'm like, Terry girl. It's okay, it all worked out for her.
Indeed.
But yeah.
Dude, terrifying.
Woo.
Oh, I also really like the episode of the first baby being born down in the city.
Yeah.
And I love the last conversation with Sinatra holding the baby, and she's like, "Hey, here's a secret. You're not gonna be down here forever."
Mhm.
And then I'm like, "What do you mean?"
What? No, that's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that whole there's so many episodes and plot lines that I think are just so fun and like different from what the overall show is doing. And I think that's the same in season 1, and I really enjoy their ability to kind of switch gears but still have things going into the same narrative. I think they do that in a very, very well written and structured way. They also set up, and I think it goes pretty. I think they also nail this really well. Whenever they activate the lockdown and they destroy the air circulation at the same time,
With the 2 daughters, like, ooh, scary.
I
Dude, I
think-
thought they were goners for like a hot sec. I was like, I don't know. They're not important enough to necessarily have plot armor, but I'm scared for them. Ugh. Anyway,
no, that was truly terrifying.
but I did love that it kind of forced Sinatra and Xavier to work together.
Yeah.
However much they hate each other. Well, more so Xavier hates Sinatra, and for good reason. But yeah.
Indeed. I
And
think
them reuniting, the sky falling. The sky is falling.
no.
Chicken
Whenever
Little.
the town like truly gets destroyed, dude, I just said I love the aesthetic of that place. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
But no, it felt like a lot of impact actually. Which feels crazy considering it's only been 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But I think they've hyped this place up so much, and I'm actually I don't know. This feels like something you do at the end of your show, so it's very interesting once again that they're continuing the story without Paradise.
Yeah. But I think of how I thought about the Black Phone and the Black Phone 2, where I really was like, what on earth does a Black Phone 2 look like? But it was really good, and I liked it even better than the first one. So now I'm like, if they want to do more, you know what? I'm not gonna be as hesitant now. I trust you. You did it once, you can do it again. So it's kind of same thing here. I'm like, I didn't know what season 2 would look like, but it was really good, even better than season 1. So we'll see season 3.
And I
Hopefully,
will say
fingers
the
crossed.
cliffhanger that they leave for season 3, I think there's a lot more to read into than they left for season 2. I'm gonna circle back towards this when we start talking about season 3 at the end. But Denver Airport, I'm looking at you. Some interesting stuff that we're gonna be looking at. I think we talked a lot of pros. Anything else before we go over to cons?
I don't think so. I feel like I'm gonna struggle for cons though, but I think there are a couple.
I think there's aggressively a couple.
I'll hear your thoughts first, so that I can bounce off of that. I think.
Do I think aggressively might be the wrong word?
Yeah, I
but
feel like aggressively.
I will say
Sometimes Gary got obnoxious, but I don't ever feel like it got too much for me.
the thing is I never really trusted Gary.
Oh.
Like, what do you mean you show up and find someone here that's like, yeah, Terry's gone, and it's like, and you're the only one left, huh? The
How
idea
did that happen?
Xavier ever trusting him with like the button to detonate the explosive he's carrying, I'm like, Xavier, dude, I don't think you'd get there.
No, I think that's a little crazy to me. I will say his trust levels with different people. I'm like,
But I do love that whenever he meets the other, like the nurse and her partner from the bunker, he like immediately clocks that like Terry trusted them, so he's gonna trust her with the baby.
yeah,
Also, Xavier and Terry, I think it also shows how similar that they are, that they both are like taking care of these kids that aren't theirs. Bean is like basically hers at this point. But I don't know. I think them both coming together and being like, "Hey, so
Child?
another mouth to feed."
No, they were just so in sync. That's crazy.
Gosh.
Yes, we both found a child we now have to take care of, or find someone to take care of. Because they did give the baby at least to Link, which makes sense. Like, okay, you have a living parent, like, give it to them. But yeah.
Gosh.
We haven't really even super gotten into worst parts yet. It's just, like, nitpicky stuff. I don't know. There wasn't, like, anything huge that I can think of. I mean, I gave this, like, a 9 out of 10. Like, it's pretty close to perfect to me.
No, okay. Hold on. I'm wrecking my mind. Another problem, like we just had with One Piece, where it's been the hottest of seconds since we actually watched this.
Uh-huh.
But I would say I think I also had problems with...
You're doing great.
I am doing great. No, we talked about it a little earlier. I think the way they introduce Alex and, like, the weird, like, time anomaly stuff, I feel like it's some crazy stuff to just kind of drop without explanation.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I remember, now that you say that, both of us thinking at one point, you know, why is the bunker and going back there, that whole storyline, the least interesting part of the show now? When that was, like, kind of the whole pitch.
I don't think I ever felt that way. Because it was about finding Terry, and I always found what was happening in the bunker pretty damn interesting.
Ooh, I will say I loved Dr. Tarabi getting to kill Jane the way she did. She was a baddie for that, or maybe.
Although I think Jane got
Jane.
up at the end. Her body wasn't there, but I was like, dude,
like, okay,
you were sitting there for a hot second, girl.
So stupid. Oh, I'll say that as one of my, like, nitpicky complaints. Like, that's stupid, but anyway, let her have her baddie moment. Anyway.
But the lead in with with like Alex, and the only thing that we've seen of, like, there being some kind of time shit going on from Alex is, like, whenever the guy is creating her, and it's like it's answering questions to, like the meaning of the universe, and it's like, so okay, that's what it's designed to do, and it's like, but we didn't ask it yet. And, like, that kind of stuff, the idea that it's reading the future and doing stuff beforehand, it makes me... And then the other hint at what it's doing of some kind of mastermind plan that it's kind of setting up, which I think you feel a lot throughout this season, because there's a lot of coincidence.
Yeah.
And having a machine like Alex that's, like, putting things in motion for things to happen, I think makes some of the more dramatic stuff that happens feel plausible.
Yeah.
But, like, whenever... Before Jane is born, her mom is, like, met by the crazy guy who got an email saying that baby's going to, like, kill a lot of people. And it's like, dude.
Dude, you were right. How did you know that?
Dude, he was spitting straight facts. How did you feel about the Jane becoming an agent little arc? Apparently that's the lowest rated episode.
That probably makes sense to me because I don't remember that episode. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it was where she was, there was the female director that was, like, helping her, like, telling her how to be a better agent as a female. And then she was about to get passed by for a promotion, and she, like, cut off, I think, the balls of the person who was going to take her promotion. And she, like, gave it to her in a bag, and she was like, hey, I got you these. Jane is crazy. I also loved her interactions with Link and them outside of the bunker. She was always very chill and calculated, which I thought was...
Yeah.
Dude, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Jane is also scared. I would say that her and Gary have similar vibes in that manner.
Yeah, because they can be very scary in a very calm way.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good yeah.
And you know what? I will say those are the only things I can remember having issue with. I'm fairly certain there were probably a couple more.
Yeah. Nothing crazy big though, if we can't remember it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
it's
give
okay.
it that. But I will say overall, I know you say that you think season 2 is better than season 1. I'm a season 1 truther. I think season 1 is like kind of perfect in my opinion. But oh my gosh, if season 2 is not also such a blast. And watching it
Yeah.
weekly was also a difference. And
I
I
enjoyed
was
that a lot
so
more.
excited clicking in every week.
Yeah. I actually did enjoy that a lot more. I feel like it prolonged the experience. I could like process each episode. I don't know. It's like I hate waiting, so I kind of love when things drop at once. But in a way I love like forced patience as well with the weekly release. So like I don't have the self-control to do it a weekly, because I mean you can watch it weekly, you know, even if it's all out, if you have that patience. I don't. So when I don't get a choice, it's like, yeah, it works out.
My next question, award season. How do we think season 2 does?
I mean, I think, you know, just because nobody's, as far as we can see, nobody's really talking about it. I think inevitably that probably means it's gonna get a little less nominations.
But I think it still will get nominations.
Yes, I agree, because I think, you know, the Emmys and that whole circle, they're gonna watch it. So even if general audiences aren't talking about it, I think it's still gonna be in that circle. Obviously, I hope Sterling K. Brown gets another nomination. Might even win this year. I don't know. Probably not, but that would be nice. And then I would nominate Sinatra this year. I think she deserved one last year, but I think this year would make more sense to me.
I completely agree.
And then also I want to nominate Terry too.
I also feel the same.
Ooh, I'd hate to
Pit two baddies against each
Yes.
other.
Ugh, but like, I don't know. And honestly, also like Shailene Woodley. No, there's too many baddies this season. Where to put them?
No, the performances are very top notch in
Yeah.
the show, and
I mean, I think more so I would say Terry, or what's Shailene Woodley's character's name?
see if I can find it.
I think those two deserve a nom and maybe win more than Sinatra, but I do like Sinatra more this season.
Annie.
And I think marketing wise, Sinatra's probably the one they're going to push the most, just because she already got one last season, so they already are familiar with her. But we'll just see. I don't know.
Indeed.
Are there any other male performances that you would nominate other than Sterling K. Brown?
We get significantly less James Marsden this season.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't
would
really
say like Link is probably the next. Link and Gary are the next like
yeah.
biggest male performers, and I think they're great.
I wouldn't nominate
But I don't think
them.
they're that great.
No. I mean, I think they do good. Or they do well, but
I think they're really well performed. I don't think they're standouts.
yeah, I agree. Not for an Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And then maybe some later things, perhaps. Maybe some of the younger actors could get something in younger actor categories. I don't know. None of them really have a whole lot to do, but more so than the rest of them, The President's Son has, I think, the most to do.
Indeed.
But
I'm also going to say
whatever.
I think it's going to get nominated for Best Drama again.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. Maybe some visual effects, something like that. Production design. I don't know.
Indeed.
But if it didn't win last year, I don't really have a lot of faith. It's
No,
gonna win
I
anything this year.
completely agree, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I wish people were watching this show.
Yeah, I agree.
Circling out this conversation, season 3.
Mhm.
So, it ends with Sinatra telling Xavier to go find Alex. She's miles away, apparently under the Denver airport, and then the town is destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Denver airport is a really big deal to conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, it's rumored that in real life, there is a bunker underneath the Denver airport that's basically what the Paradise City is. Where it's like, if the nukes are going, this is where the president and all of the important people of the U.S. are going to go.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of rumors of like, is this the base of the Illuminati, and all kinds of like dark psyop stuff, and so much to the point that the airport has like a gargoyle statue on like their bottom level that like talks to people as though it's the secret base to the Illuminati. Like something from like Disney World or something.
Hey, I need to go there now. I want to see it. That sounds fun.
But then people say like there's weird murals out there of like the world appearing to like low-key be on fire and stuff like that. And then like the horse out front has like glowing red eyes at certain hours of the day. And people are like, and that's kind of terrifying, Denver.
I love a good conspiracy theory. They're fun to listen to, even if I'm never gonna be like obsessed to like a weird point about them. But it's always interesting to hear.
So,
like, oh my gosh. Anyways, never mind. I don't want to get into that.
but that pointing towards where our next season's going does open up some, I think, interesting leeways. Because this is a show built around conspiracies. So it's interesting to see them kind of going towards an existing conspiracy theory and working around that. Considering I think they've been really good at building their own conspiracy in the show. Completely original. I'm interested to see, do we see is Sinatra part of the Illuminati? I mean, if anyone is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm very curious if there's gonna be or if there's a reveal that there's more cities. Ooh.
I'm sure there kind of has to be.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like at least some. I don't know, maybe not. But
It'd be interesting if if there are and we just haven't heard about them yet. Because I mean, the guy who built the city was like, no one can make this city. So then if people around the world are making their own, I don't know. That's just fascinating to me. And what do they all look like? I think there's probably only one in the U.S., but I'd be curious where else the show would like go to explore if there are more.
yeah, because I'm sure, why would they really build more than one in the U.S.? Unless they maybe just wanted like a backup or two. But then, yeah, other countries would want to build one too. I'm sure. I mean, the U.S. is not the only one that would have thought of that. So we're not that smart, people. Or unique is probably the better word. Anyways, so that would be interesting. After season 2, I trust wherever they want to go and whatever they want to do.
I do want another mystery.
Yes.
And I want that pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I don't really care what the mystery is. Like they do so good at writing their mysteries and how it unravels.
Yeah, I agree.
Gag after gag after gag.
Bus, plane, club, another plane. I don't know how it goes. But yeah.
Gosh, can you think? So there were some pretty good additions to the cast this go around. Can you think of any other actors that you think would go good in this show? Might be a big question off the cuff.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this show doesn't really have. It's not like White Lotus where you need like a certain type of celebrity. I don't know. A lot of people. I really can't answer that. There's too many answers.
Ooh, you know what else I'd like to see in season 3? I'd like to see more stories of how people survived. Because truly being in Graceland and like seeing what that looked like, would love to see more of that.
Yeah. I think it would be fun. You know, Shailene Woodley, she hasn't really been in. I mean, obviously she had her big moment with Fault in Our Stars and Divergent. She's done some other things, but I feel like this is the first time I've seen her in a while. So maybe if nothing else, it'd be fun to see more actors and actresses like that. Just ones that had a moment. Bring them back, give them another moment. So, whatever.
Indeed.
Yeah, I don't feel like I want or expect any like A-list stars. I think
be
that would be the I think there is like a category of actors that are like would fit with this show, but it's just it's wider than like White Lotus. That's a much smaller group of people. So, anyways,
Indeed.
yeah.
Period. Well, I think that is going to wrap up our conversation on Paradise Season 2. If you guys have seen this show, and please tell me you have, what have you thought of Season 2 and Season 1? What do you want to see from a Season 3? And if you've made it this far in our conversation, please leave a like if you've enjoyed yourself. We would love it a lot. So until next time, I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm your host, Alicia.
And thank you so much for watching Not So Straight Nerds.